everything. And she was the person that made everything fun, the person that got away, the person that you really bonded with. She called me her rock because, she would talk to me and tell me things, that was going on in her life that, basically kind of confided in me, almost as if I was like her husband. So, I went to bed on the couch, and she said she'd kick me off the couch when she got home. And sure enough, the morning came, Christmas Eve morning, and I was at my grandmother's house. And I woke up to the cops knocking on the door, and they had come to inform me that my mom had gotten hit head-on, fell asleep at the wheel on Christmas Eve morning about 4 o'clock, and she passed away. Well, I initially started dancing when I was smaller. My grandmother owns a studio in the company in Jackson, Tennessee, where I lived till I was 10 years old. And so I kind of danced around that and grew up around dance. I actually started picking up dance again when I was about 13 because I had gotten suspended from my middle school. So I started doing that and, made some dance friends and, found myself in the studio instead of in the streets. So, from then on I knew it was, that was my niche. Like that was what I wanted to do. I started dancing, beginning of 8th grade, kind of in the middle of 8th grade. And was really getting into it and decided I wanted to go to the Youth Performing Arts School in town. Out of the Youth Performing Arts School, it really was the deciding factor that dance was the thing for me. Because I love my family and they've done everything for me. Like I really couldn't ask for anything else. But what they were able to do was kind of limited just because of our financial standpoint. Having 4 kids within 5 years and just the situation was very hard. So I've been fortunate enough for my whole dance career and my whole life to have people who have really accepted me as part of their family too, and YPAS was no different. I danced all throughout high school before I went to Stevens College. Came to Stevens College, like I said, I was mostly on my own, and got an apartment with the other senior dance major and worked 2 jobs on campus, catering and in the cafeteria to pay for my rent and everything, and didn't have a meal plan. I made sandwiches and stuff every day and ate out of Tupperware. So, the first 2 years were amazing. I really can't complain about anything that went on, and I'm just completely blessed what's happened from, being able to just continue to follow my dream and come to Stevens College. I had socially smoked weed probably around, junior, senior year of high school every once in a while. Once I got to college, it was about the same. And then that past December, about a year ago, I was with my first, real true love, and we've been together for about 2 years. And she broke up with me right before one of our concerts. So I started smoking cigarettes and smoking pot more often, and just drinking all the time, and just kind of went through a downward spiral. It went from recreational to almost, to being dependent on it. So much so that I was doing it more so every day and all day every day, and so much to where I couldn't afford it, so I started selling. Sure enough, in that summer, around summer dance, somebody was stealing from the dorms, and I was a suspect. And apparently somebody had told on me and told them what I was doing. So they said they were coming to search my room for the stolen items when they knew they were going to find weed in there. And I was expelled from school, and lost everything. Lost my college, lost my friends, lost my dance career. Um, that was on June 24th. And from then on, that was the first day that I became sober. So I talked to the president face to face, and she said, I needed to get help. I needed medical documentation that I was okay before I could even attempt to come back to the school. So I gathered as many people as I could to speak on my behalf that I thought would help my case. I had medical documentation from therapists, chemical dependency specialists, showing that, I did what I needed to do, letters from McDonald's showing why I worked there to pay for it, and, struggled with a lot of stuff, and it was a very, very hard time. And did my hearing. It took about a week and a half for them to give me an answer, and sure enough, by the graces of God, I got back into school. So, thinking a lot, and what would be the next best step for me, I feel like, hopefully, ideally, I could move to New York City, because I don't want to consider myself a dancer anymore. I want to consider myself an artist. I love doing it all. I just feel deep down that that's my calling, to go to New York and to audition for what I want to do, and let things unfold for me, and hopefully let the blessings come to me. So hopefully, me making it on my own, I can make those connections happen, and I can get there and see where it goes from there.